in society that maybe our people have not really penetrated through to the intricacies of democracy, to the principles, to the imperatives in a total comprehensive manner, so that they only pick at one time, or one thing, one strand at a time. They worry that strand to death, and in the process, they strangle one another. And of course, there are opportunists who understand what democracy is about, but they also know how to manipulate the processes of democracy, how to twist the urgencies, the imperatives of the democratic ethos. They know how to just set one side against another simply to arrive at their goal, which is unstinted power, selfish, alienating power, just power. That's what they're after. Whoever it is must understand the fact that this country will not cease, the people will not cease demanding a restructuring of this nation. And the sooner it is addressed as part and parcel of the process of governance, of making laws, of debating, of even economic reforms, fiscal attributions, etc., devolution of power within what is possible along the way to the lower tiers of governance, in which I'm always more interested than the center. And so there must be that focus, the good governance, but also a view of the direction of society. If the two do not go pari passu, the incoming regime will fail, because new voices are being heard, and they are more powerful than before. They are not just whining voices. They are voices based on actualities. We have failed in so many directions, and they are saying, let us debate this particular direction. Let's try this direction. And you cannot ignore it. Otherwise, even your economic policies will fail, your infrastructural transformations will fail. We'll just go back, treading the same old spore. Security has got to be integrated. Just like food production, food distribution, just like culture itself. Security has got to become part and parcel of the cultural life of these people. And that'll only happen through decentralization, a meaningful one.
Now, the fulcrum of his statement is what he called decentralization, or what you can probably call the meaningful decentralization. Before we engage that thought, I'd like you to also listen to this. It's something he said, sometime 2021, and he was saying, see, Nigeria will remain one only if we decentralize.
Mm-hmm. Do I think that Nigeria can continue as one? Not if it continues this way. Not if it fails to decentralize. Some people use the word reconstruction, some people use the word whatever, but if Nigeria fails to decentralize, and I mean to decentralize as fast as possible, manifestly, not as rhetoric, then Nigeria cannot stay together. Again, it's not Wole Soyinka saying this. Everybody said it. Generals have said it, generals, ex-head of states have said it, politicians have said it, analysts have said it, economists have said it. And sometimes we get, and that's what's happening to people in the streets. That's where they're moving. That's why they're demonstrating. That's why they're defying even threats from the police, from the government. If you demonstrate, you're a threat to us. If you do this, we'll deal with you. We'll talk to you in language which you understand. It doesn't wash with anybody any longer. Because if the nation is on a suicide slide, the people who feel that they do not deserve that kind of suicidal plunge, they have a right to say, sorry, I'm getting off this plane before it nosedives.
That was Wole Soyinka. Mm-hmm. Until you heard him. But when we talk about restructuring, it's been a difficult thing sometimes to understand. But they say those who say they don't understand restructuring are just being mischievous. So this morning, if you're going to ask the next administration to go the line of restructuring as we're talking about it, what area are you looking at? Are you looking at the area of strengthening the local government? It was a debate last week, even on our program, where some governors feel that local governments are not federating units. They are just tier of government. And so they cannot have the same autonomy that the state has. But how then, my question, how then do you bring governance closer to the people if the local governments are not independent, if they're not federated units? That's on one side. On the other side, when you say the center is too big, are there specific areas you want this federal government to shed weight? What are those areas? And how can we achieve that? Because restructuring simply means that the center reduces its concentration and gives the power. So you devolve power to the subnationals. You let them handle more issues than the central government is handling. And so in Nigeria, by our peculiarity, should we go, do you think we want to go back to regionalism? Is that what it means? Or we maintain the states as federating units and devolve more powers to the governors and the local government chairmen? It's the thought around this that we need to think about. So who is going to do it? The federal government? Is it the executive, which is the president and his cabinet minister, or the National Assembly? My little government studies, shows me that you need the National Assembly and you need to make it a law. That was the last amendment to the Constitution gave some powers to the state government. For instance, now state governments can venture into rail transportation. They can also do something about power in terms of generation and distribution of power. And so they can decide to say we're going to be working on IPP for our states. That's something that Lagos had tried some time ago. So in what area do you think that we need to devolve power?
Of course.
Or we need to restructure?
I mean, when it comes to Wole Soyinka, when it comes to his thought as regards the operation of the government in Nigeria, one word that he has, said over time is definitely decentralization. And of course, it leaves a lot of question because when he talks about it, of course, he speaks further, but he doesn't, say so much about the angle that he's coming from. Because what you just touched on, of course, there's a provision of law for the operation of the state government as well. And I can't but ask question, when you're talking about decentralization, probably implying the local government as well being able to operate in Nigeria. One of the questions that I definitely have is what happens to also the generation of revenue from this local government in order to also contribute to the IGR at the end of the day. Because if you're saying that power should be allocated to the local government to do this, to do that, to be able to decentralize, the question is also, hope it won't be indirectly the way things are, in the sense that the money from the federal government level is still what is being used to operate, just that the operation is being done at the local government level. And, analyzing that fully would mean that the real change is still yet to happen.
You're talking about fiscal restructuring there. So you're probably saying that these subnationals must be economically viable.
Definitely.
If they are not, there is no sense in giving them autonomy.
Definitely. Because it means that you're saying that even though the job of, I'm trying to think of an analogy to use right now, the job of a certain place is being done probably by the head. You're saying that let the other people, the other members of the family be able to, do the job as well. Yes, they're going to do the job. At the end of the day, the finances is still coming from that same head. So at the end of the day, relating that to Nigeria, yes, we can say that it will bring more efficiency because the local government, for instance, know more about what's the grassroots, what the people need directly to, put more effectiveness in the society and, more touch. But the truth is, there will be need for the economy to be touched as well, because money will be used to finance these things. Okay. So if the money is still coming from above as well, it still goes back to the main problem.
So he who gives you the money will control, isn't it? All right, so now the 16th Amendment done, we're going for a break now, but just to touch on this, the 16th constitutional amendment provisions that were done recently, which the president signed on. One of it says the bill to move the ITM railways from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list. That means that the state can venture into providing rail transportation system for the people. A bill to allow states to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity in areas covered by the national grid. In other words, the state can also generate power, transmit it, and distribute electricity within their domain. So for example, your state can probably invest in Ikere Gorge Dam to generate electricity. So, isn't that restructuring on its own, or what kind of restructuring are we looking for? We'll take a commercial break. When we return, we'd like to also hear your thoughts on this one. Stay with us.
Your hustle just found powerful partners. HP's new laptop, powered by 10th generation Intel Core i3 processor, is built to get you closer to your goals. Long battery life, so you can work long hours without interruption, plus impressive speed and performance to match your grit and determination. HP laptop 15DW1324NIA, powered by 10th generation Intel Core i3 processor, is available at all DreamWorks stores. Call 0808-553-8331 or visit www.dreamworksdirect.com for more information. HP with Intel, the technology partners of your hustle. Look for Intel.
Àwọn tó kán létí wọn mọ ohun tó dára o. Kásìsì máa ní wọn ń lò. Kásìsì ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ òde òní náà fi ṣe. Kásìsì ó dára kì máa í mòrò. Ó tún ṣe ege sí odi ìwọ̀n tẹ́ bá fẹ́ o. Ó lè kókó. Ó dára ó rẹwà ó lànà pẹ́. Ó lè kókó. Ó dára ó rẹwà ó lànà pẹ́. Prestige wà. Lẹ́gẹ̀dì gan ìyẹn ò lẹ́gbẹ́. Diamond wà. Crystal pẹ̀lú Supreme tó dára. Ilé iṣẹ́ Nigerite ló ṣe wọ́n jáde o. Nigerite calcicil kò táwọn yọjú. Calcicil sílẹ̀ tí lè ṣe Nigerite fìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ayé òde òní gbé jáde. Ó rẹwà, ó le koko, ó lálòpẹ́. Bàbá ń bari ẹ̀ ní pé kì í mòoru. Ó yàtọ̀ láwùjọ àwọn sílẹ̀. Ó tún ṣe gẹ́sì ìpele. Bẹ́ẹ̀ owó rẹ̀ mọ̀ níwọ̀nba. Ó sì wà ní gbogbo ilé ìtajà Nigerite jákèjádò Nàìjíríà. Nigerite calcicil ó ju sílẹ̀ lásán lọ.
Ìfẹ́ mi, ẹni lọ́jọ́ ìfúnni lábẹ́rẹ́ wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, pẹ̀lú abẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fún ìdáàbòbò ara ẹni yìí, a lè ṣeré ìfẹ́ fóṣù mẹ́ta láìsí fòyè oyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀.
Bí báwo?
Màá fa ẹran itan mi, màá sì gá abẹ́rẹ́ yìí sórí itan tí mo fà. Káde máa gbádùn ara wa lọ fóṣù mẹ́ta nìyẹn.
Abẹ́rẹ́ kẹ̀, ṣé yẹn wà nínú ẹ̀?
Kò séwu ìfẹ́ mi, abẹ́rẹ́ tíntínní ni bí eléyìí.
Àkíkà, ó ti gún kódà ó wò mí rárá.
Ṣé bí mo sọ fún ẹ?
Bó o bá fẹ́ lábẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fúngbà àkọ́kọ́ lọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ìlera fúngbà ní níyànjú fàlàyé nípa àwọn ọ̀nà mìíràn láti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ oyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ ẹ̀rìn èjì ọ̀kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lórí Airtel kó o dẹ̀ tẹ ọgbọ̀n tàbí kó o lọ sórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára discoveryourpower.org. Ìpolówó yìí wá látọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó ń bójútó ìlera ẹbí Society for Family Health pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ètò ìlera.
Èyíkéyìí ọkọ̀ tó bá ń wà ó nílò ààbò tó péye. Máa dágunlá jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mobile. Níbikíbi tó bá wà ló mú ojúlówó.
Lọ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó.
Jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mobile.
Wẹ̀yìnjú mi méjèèjì dáadáa, wàá rí bó ṣe ṣe pàtàkì sí mi tó. Wo inú ọkàn rẹ̀, níbẹ̀ ni mo jókòó sí. Níwọ̀n bá àgbà tó ti rí mi nínú ọkàn àyà rẹ̀, o ò nílò àti wo nǹkan kiri mọ́ o.
Nígbà tèmi náà kọ́kọ́ fojú kàn ẹ́ ni mo ti rí ìfẹ́. Nígbà tó jàjà fọwọ́ kàn mí, nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ ti bò mí mọ́lẹ̀.
Kòkòrò ìfẹ́ mi níbo ló wà o.
Alẹ́ olólùfẹ́. Ètò tó lapọ́njá táwọn èèyàn ń jẹ̀gbáládùn rẹ̀ ní gbogbo alẹ́ ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday látàgò 10:00 àṣálẹ́ ṣáàgò kan òru 10:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. ní Splash FM 105.5. Àwọn orin àdídùn, ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí nípa ìfẹ́ àti ìlàkọjá àwọn olólùfẹ́ ló sodo sí alẹ́ olólùfẹ́.
Olólùfẹ́ wojú mi sọ fún mi.
orí ètò yìí la ti ń so olólùfẹ́ méjì pọ̀ lábala wọkọ̀wáyà àwọn olólùfẹ́ àtàwọn tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fẹ́ ní ìrírí ìfẹ́ kò kí ń fi ètò yìí ṣeré torí àǹfààní àti mú orin àdídùn láti fi ìfẹ́ hàn sí olólùfẹ́ ní wà ní sẹpẹ́ alẹ́ olólùfẹ́ ẹ já darapọ̀ mọ́ Olúwagbémiga Adégòkè arákùnrin gòkè àfìdúkọ̀nà ìfẹ́ lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí látàgò 10:00 àṣálẹ́ 10:30 p.m. ní ìkànnì Splash FM 105.5 alẹ́ olólùfẹ́ kò ṣe é má gbọ́ ni.
ọwọ́ mi rè fà mí dání.
ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹ má jẹ́ kó wo náírà tuntun àti àìlègbówó yọ yín lẹ́nu hope wà lórí fóònù rẹ ìfẹ́ ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà wà ńlẹ̀ torí náà tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fowó ránṣẹ́ sí màmá ńlé àbí láti ra owó ìpè fún àbíkẹ́ láti fún oníbàárà lówó àbí tó oníbàárà bá fẹ́ fún yín lówó. hope wà lórí fóònù rẹ ìfẹ́ ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà wà ńlẹ̀. èèyàn mi nọ́mbà fóònù rẹ ní nọ́mbà káàdì ATM àti nọ́mbà àkáǹtì rẹ o.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni gbádùn ayé ìrọ̀rùn pẹ̀lú hope wallet tẹ *569*9# lórí fóònù rẹ kó o sì yan open wallet tẹ àlàyé nípa ara rẹ síbẹ̀ ló bá tán o ti ṣí àpò ìṣúná rẹ nìyẹn. hope PS Bank á wá fún ẹ ní ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà ṣáńgílítì. hope àṣeyọrí hope bank nígbà gbogbo.
Kadara, destiny. Who decides where we are born?
Gans of Lagos na the ogbonge tori of Isaleko Street King Obalola and im gang with better actor and celebrity dem like Toby Bakari, Adesuwa Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and plenty big names dem. Chai! Gans of Lagos na correct film. Download Prime Video now make you sef enjoy 7-day free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oya, japa to Prime Video.
Tóyọ̀, ǹjẹ́ o ti gbọ́?
Pé kí ni o bá dérò?
Pé ṣé ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ ti gbọ̀nà àrà yọ?
Jọ̀ọ́ mi sí kí n rí gbọ́.
Jẹ́njá ẹ̀tàn àǹfààní àìlẹ́gbẹ́ ni Splash FM Media Academy gbé kalẹ̀ fún gbogbo olùgbé ìlú Ìbàdàn àti agbègbè rẹ̀. Ìlò tí ìgbọ́ láti di akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ oníròyìn tó perégedé ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú ìlànà ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ òde òní yálà lórí rédíò tàbí ayélujára. Àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ olùkọ́ni tí wọ́n mọ̀ ti fún tẹ̀dọ̀ iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ wà níkàlẹ̀ láti tọ́ ọ sọ́nà tí ó tọ́ lórí onírúurú ẹ̀kọ́ bíi program development, journalism, digital media, production, news presentations. Wo mélòó ni mo fẹ́ kà? OPG ó pọ̀ gan-an.
Mo rí ọ̀nà.
Tóyọ̀, ibo ló ń sáré lọ?
Àròjọ́ Musolókun mo ń lọ ṣe ìforúkọsílẹ̀ tèmi nìyẹn.
Tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sí Splash FM Media Academy tí ó fẹ́ gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ pẹ̀lú Splash 105.5 FM ilé funfun báláwú fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn láti gba fọ́ọ̀mù tirẹ̀ tàbí kí o pe ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 07054393332. Splash FM Media Academy ìdáàbòbò ìwà ọmọlúàbí nínú ètò ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́.
My brothers, I greet you. Ha! Uche, have you lost respect for tradition? How can you reach for the garden egg when there are elders who have not been served?
Brother, is it not just garden egg?
Just garden egg, you say?
Being the head of the family is no easy task. It's in moments like this I turn to my Dubik malt, made with the respect and honor for tradition we all hold dear. Dubik malt is a drink for any moment.
Dubik malt, crown the moment.
Every day for this beautiful month of Ramadan, we dey rise from our domot to answer the call of Allah's blessings wey boku. We dey put food, drinks and other enjoyment for side to receive in heavenly rewards. So, when we gather put with our family dem, make we dey remember to share the little comfort of the season. Vitafoam dey wish you and your family a blessed Ramadan season wey dey filled with love and togetherness. Ramadan Kareem. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
Welcome back. It's still Splash 105.5 FM. This is your integrity station. So at this time, we want you to join us in the conversation to make your comments about it. We want you to be able to put some things down for ourselves as a people and see whether it will work for us. 08091551055. The APC listed restructuring as part of its campaign promises to Nigerians prior to 2015 elections, which brought the party to power. To convince Nigerians it meant business, the party, I remember, included the issue in its constitution. So, specifically, Article 7, Sub 2 of the April 2014 APC Constitution as amended said its aims and objectives was to promote true federalism in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In the foreword to its vision for a new Nigeria, page 3, the second paragraph, the APC manifesto commits the party to implement efficient public financial management strategies and ensure true federalism, as well as restructure governance in a way that kickstarts our political economy so that we begin to walk the path of our better future. Also on page 7 of its manifesto, the party entered what it referred to as an honest contract with Nigeria to create a federalism with more equitable distribution of national revenue to the states and local governments, because this is where grassroots democracy and economic development must be established. The same party set up the El-Rufai-led 23-member Committee on True Federalism, which submitted its report on January 14, 2018. The committee, on page 25 of the volume 1 of its main report, the summary of findings and recommendations, recommended that the party puts its political weight behind the overwhelming popular demand for devolution of powers to states by the federal government. The committee recommended, among other things, that power be devolved to states on issues such as policing, resource control, among others.
I mean, living in Nigeria, where even we've seen it more in recent time when things happen in Nigeria, and we've had reports of the presidency saying that the president was not even aware or that was going on. Of course, that's like the most obvious signal of the answer to the question that do we need restructuring as a country? Of course, we do need it. But the big question is, what are these restructuring that we are talking about? Yeah. Because one of the most obvious purpose of restructuring would be it will not only decentralize decision making, it will also, bring the structures of the government very close to the people. But we shouldn't just think about the delegation of power to certain quarters just to bring the government close to the people. I'm thinking about the economic angle, the social angle, the legal angle, among other, facets as well.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Akinola Adeyemo.
Welcome.
We actually need the restructuring, as you put the question, in the area of generation of revenue. That is, each state should be allowed to generate their revenue according to resources available in that area, including the oil. That is, this petrol or whatever, let them refine. If you have refinery, let them generate it and contribute to the center. The center should only be concerned with the external aggression, security, that is military. Even the police should be decentralized. So you have to see that and that. Then the external incursion is what the military should, what the federal government should be concerned about. All these are, but restructuring cannot be done by the president. We need to note that. It should be with the National Assembly. When it passes bill to them, let them consider it. Because we should also talk to our National Assembly members if you want this thing to straight through. Not that the president will just stick out his nail and say it's restructuring, and you accuse him of not restructuring. But it should be done in conjunction with the National Assembly. Once they approve it, then the thing comes online. Then the center will no longer be attractive, so that people will not be running mad to become president. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, the provision of the law is also important.
Very lucid thoughts there. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm SB.
Okay.
Abodun from Mapete.
Welcome, Mr. Abodun.
Now, the first thing we should do is to look at our mindset